Come along with me while I make this beautiful jewelry gift box for Mother's Day. I found this wonderful design on the Dreaming Tree website under Jewelry Gift Box SVG. Here are just a few things that you're going to need for this project. I've got a rhinestone picker, some flat back pearls in 3 or 4 millimeter. These are off-white. I've got the self-adhesive crystal rhinestone tape there. You also need some self-adhesive black velvet liner, some liquid fusion glue, and craft board. I've got this one from Cricut in white. You can also use black. I've already gone ahead and cut out all my pieces, but I am showing you these 4 because there is a bottom and a top. So the bottom is indicated with the B, so make sure you're all facing in the right direction when we put these together. We're going to go to the Cricut Design site right now, and what I want to do is I want to get rid of all the dashed lines because we are going to use the template without the dashed lines to create the velvet liners to put inside of the box. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to go ahead and ungroup, and then we're going to pull those dashed liners off to the side and hide them. And now we've got just 2 plain templates, and we're going to make 4 all together. We're going to send them to the Cricut and make the velvet liners. I've gone ahead and created the velvet liners, and as you see, they're going to fit right over the top of these white templates that we have. So now it's just a matter of separating the back from the liner and attaching them to the white templates. Because I'm using white craft board, I'm going to go ahead and touch up the edges after I put the liners on with a black marker, so it'll hide all those white marks and you won't see them when we put the box together. Okay, now that we have all of our velvet liners on the back of our templates, we're going to go ahead to the other side, the white side of the template, where all the dashed lines are. We're going to go ahead and fold those over, and we're going to start forming our box. Okay, let's go ahead and create the main part of our box. We're going to attach these 4 pieces and see how it starts to come together. You'll see that one of my black velvet liners was a little bit shorter than I wanted. That's okay as long as it's on the bottom, and we're going to cover that up with another liner on the inside, so we won't see that at all. Next is the frame for the top inside opening of the box, and we're going to put black velvet over that, so I'm going to show you how to do that in Design Space. The goal is to cover the outside and the inside of the blue frame entirely with black velvet. Okay, if you remember this section from templates, we're going to go ahead and cover up the two blue solid boxes with this black box. We're going to select all, and then we're going to go ahead and slice and then delete the two boxes so just the frame is remaining. We'll grab another box and we're going to make that bigger than the frame, and we're going to actually send that to the back, put it behind the frame. We're going to select all, and then we're going to go ahead and center horizontally and center vertically, and then we're going to go ahead and slice those as well, taking out the middle piece. Go ahead and bring your blue frame to the front, and then what you want to do is center the black frame by making it a little bit smaller around the blue frame so there's black on the outside and the inside. Center horizontally and vertically, just like that, and then go ahead and cut that out, and it will fit just like this around your frame, your white frame. And then we're going to go ahead and cut the edges into the corners with a straight knife. And then once those edges are cut on the inside, we're going to go ahead and cut on the outside as well. And then we're going to overlap. And as you overlap, you're going to have some extra pieces. Just go ahead and cut those off with some scissors, because you do want the underneath side of your frame to be as flat as possible when you glue it down. Now we're going to glue our liner to the top of the box. I recommend gluing one side at a time. Make sure you've got a good seal on each side. I'm going to go in and touch up a little bit with the black marker here, right underneath the lip of the liner, just so you can't see any of the white sections on the inside of the box. Let's go ahead and move on to making the lid. I just want to mention that I am using a low temperature glue gun. I like the low temperature glue gun because it makes putting the box together a whole lot easier and quicker. You do have to work a little faster, but the hold on the glue is very sturdy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue the lid together, and a recommendation, I would go ahead and put some Kleenex, any kind of tissue or something inside the top lid of the box just to give it a little bit more weight and to sturdy it up a little. We're going to go ahead and attach the hinge to the back of the lid and attach that to the top of the box. Pro tip: when you attach your lid, make sure that you place the top of the lid perfectly on the top of the opening, and then kind of pull it back and forth to see how it closes. You want that to be centered and directly on the top of the box, laying flat, and then pull up your flap on your hinge and glue that once you've got it in place. Now we're going to go ahead and cut a piece of black velvet liner to be the same size as the white template liner that we cut for the box. So as you'll notice, there's a L in the corner for liner, and I'm going to go ahead and take a black marker and just shore up all the edges and make sure they're black so you can't see any of that white showing through once we put it inside the box. Get that black velvet liner, peel it off from the back and attach it and place it inside. Now you can glue it if you want to, or you can just leave it laying inside the box. It's your choice. We are going to take the base and attach it to the bottom of the box. So get your hot glue gun out and just do a nice stream of glue all around the base and attach it and let it sit for a couple minutes. Make sure you've got it centered right in the middle, and we'll keep moving on. In Design Space, we'll use 2 of the pink patterns to create our panels for the outside of the box. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the top 2 panels, the pink panels, and remove the other panels by getting a shape of a box and enlarging it so it covers the top 2 panels, selecting all, and then slicing to remove the bottom panels. We'll go ahead and hide these panels and come back to them in a minute. And while the other 2 panels remain, we're going to do the same process again, create a box, cover one of those panels to keep it, and remove the other panel. And that'll leave the right panel, and then we're going to go ahead and go over to the blue templates, and within the dashed lines, we're going to enlarge that panel just a little bit to see if we can get it to go edge to edge. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but get it as close as you can. Now we're going to take that shape and flip vertically, drop it down to the bottom section of that template, make sure it fits just the same in that area, and it does. And we're going to go ahead and grab another box shape, extend it over the rectangle, because we need a rectangle for the middle. Select all and slice, and grab that and set it inside the middle portion in that rectangle shape, and just kind of drag it from end to end to get it as close as we can. And that looks pretty good. You will need 8 of the top rectangles and 4 of the bottom ones. And here is the faux leather that we will use to cover the panels. It's felt on one side and faux leather on the other side, and I was able to get this off of Amazon. Now that our sections are all cut out, we're going to go ahead and apply those to the box with Mod Podge. I like to use a thin coat of Mod Podge, and I'll usually just get a little piece of cardboard or a piece of the leftover craft board as applicator, and just smear it on the section that I need. Just a light coat, and then you will go ahead and apply your faux leather to each section. We're going to use another piece of faux leather cut out as the same size as the top of the box, and we're going to attach that with a nice light layer of Mod Podge. We're going to grab our rhinestone roll, and we're going to cut down about 5 rhinestones on the roll, and we're going to wrap that around the top part of the box. So peel off the backing. It's very, very sticky on the back, so you won't have to use a lot of glue, maybe just at the edges when you come to the end. And I like to keep the adhesive on the back and just pull it off as I go around the box. I decided to use faux velvet for the last 4 sections on the box for the rectangles. So I went ahead and cut those out on the Cricut, and I'm going to go ahead and add those to the box. And this is the bottom of our box. I'm going to go ahead and take a black marker and go around and just cover up the edges so you can't see those. And then I'm going to cut out another piece of faux velvet to match the same size as the bottom of the box, peel that off, and add it to the bottom. Here I'm going to add some larger flatback pearls to the base or the bottom of the box in each corner, and this will just give the box a little bit more dimension, and it'll be up off any surface. I've already added liquid fusion glue to the edges, and right now I'm going around with the rhinestone picker and either 3 or 4 millimeter flat back pearls, and just adding them one at a time in a row along all the seams or edges and all the corners. And here is the final result of adding all the pearls. I think it's come out pretty nice, and it's covered all those blank spaces where you can see the white craft board underneath. Next, I'm going to show you how to create this really pretty embellishment to add to your box. We're going to go ahead and in Design Space, add a heart with the word mom in it, and then I'll show you how to embellish it with the 3 or 4 millimeter flat back pearls. And you can add this embellishment wherever you think best, maybe the top of the box or even the inside lid. Okay, we're going to go over to Design Space and get some text. And we are going to find a font called Gravura Con. And we're going to go ahead and change that to read the words mom. And then we're going to go to Advanced and ungroup the letters because we want to pull apart the letters so we can take the O out and replace it with a heart. Go over to Shapes, grab a heart, and you're going to duplicate that heart. Make it a different color so you can see it easier. And we're going to place that inside the other heart, and you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. You're going to center horizontally and vertically. You're going to highlight all, and then you're going to go ahead and slice and pull out both the pieces of the middle heart, and then we're going to make the heart a little bit smaller so it fits well inside the words for mom. And you can turn it a little bit if you need to. The idea here is to get the M's to line up perfectly with the heart, and then we're going to go ahead and weld the pieces together. So I'm going to go ahead and move the pieces closer together, and then zoom in a little bit so I can see. I don't want any edges hanging off. I want it to look kind of seamless like it's supposed to be there. And then once we've got that taken care of and looking the way we want, I'm going to go ahead and highlight everything and weld the piece together. Next, we'll go to Shapes and we'll grab a heart, and we'll go ahead and duplicate that heart, change the color of that heart so it forms kind of an outline, and then we'll select all, align, center horizontally and vertically. Then you're going to go ahead, select all, slice, and pull out the center so you're left with this outline of a heart. And then we'll take that heart and we'll unlock the size box so we can manipulate it up and down. And what I want to do is have every corner of the word mom touching the heart. So the side with the curl on the front of the M and the curl on the back side of the M, and then we'll pull it down a little bit on the top so that the loops touch the top. And that way it'll become all one piece when you go to cut it out on your Cricut. So just like that. And play with it until you get it just right. Select all and weld, and go ahead and cut it on the Cricut. Now I'd go ahead and turn the mat over and kind of peel your mat away from the design. And you may need to use like a knife blade or some kind of object to kind of gently pull it off of the mat so it doesn't rip or tear. And then we're going to go ahead and get that up and lay it down and start embellishing with the flat back pearls. All right, now that we've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab my flat back pearls and my rhinestone picker, and I'm going to lay some liquid fusion glue down on the white sections of the design and just add my pearls one at a time. You want them to kind of overlap just slightly so you can't see the white template underneath. And you can also use, I've got a letter A up there in the corner. You feel free to use any kind of letter that you want, design anything you want and put it out there. This one I think will be just perfect for Mother's Day.